Hello folks and welcome back to another Wise Game video. In this video we're going to be playing the game called Final Fantasy 15. We're playing the playable demo, which is available now on Steam for the computer system. Now the actual retail version of this game, the full version of this game, has been available for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and it's been available on Steam since February 2018 for the computer system. Now, the playable demo in this game is about 20 gigs long, and it's got about 10 hours of actual gameplay packaged inside of it. So you do get to do quite a bit with just the demo, which is nice. Now, in this video, I'm going to be covering the basics about the game, how to get started in the game, important facts about the game, to see if this game is actually worth your time and money as far as adding this to your gaming library. The full version of this game sells right now on Steam for the computer system for $49.99. It's not an overly priced game, but it is definitely a game that's worth some money. So I think in this video, we'll be able to clarify if this game is actually for you or not. So let's get started playing Final Fantasy 15, the playable demo for the computer system, available on Steam. Now, the first thing I want to go over in this game, before we actually get into the game itself, is I want to go to the options, because I know there's something in here everybody's going to want to know about, because this is one thing I always see in forums lately when it comes to especially computer games. And that is about the actual, where is it here? The graphics. What's the FPS of this game? This game actually has in the graphic menu, which is really cool, the options to change your FPS. So you could either run it at 30 FPS, 60, or 120, or default. Now I guess the rest depends on your computer system, what it could handle. If you think you could run 120 FPS, all the power to you. Right now I'm running at 60, and it seems like it hasn't dove much. It seems to be running pretty steady at 60 frame rates per second while I'm playing the game. Okay, now here we are inside the game, obviously. And it's a really good looking game. The graphics is awesome. There's a lot in this game as far as that goes. So again, in this video I'm going to be covering most of these important topics that people would want to know about before investing their money and time into a new game. So let's first open up this menu right here, and in the menu we're going to meet our group. This is our group of characters that we're going to be working with through the remainder of Final Fantasy 15. To the far left is Prince Noctis. He's like the head guy. Standing next to him, proud and tall, is Gladius. Next to him is Ignis, and the guy to the far right is Promptos. Now, each one of these guys serves a special, unique skill or ability when it comes to battles. Promptos, for one, uses firearms, I believe. And they also have different skills that they bring to the table in the game too. For instance, Noctis does our fishing, Gladius does survival, Ignis does our cooking, and Promptos does photography. While we're in the menu, we'll go over a few other key important details. This feature right here, Assassin, I think it's actually pronounced, I'm not really sure. This is our way of building up our talents in the game for combat or whatnot. Just like we've been seeing for maybe about the last 10 years in Final Fantasy games, this is like the talent tree. Element C is a way of setting up your magic in the game, and you need to have a magic flask for this to work. And basically, out in the world, you're going to see these points that you could go up to and absorb the magic from the world. So you'll absorb fires, ice, lightning, so on and so forth. And then once you have the flask, you can now input that where now you can use it on your person as a spellcast. Of course, you have your items, your archives, and gearing in this game is a little different, because this is also where you would even put your spells. So in other words, Once you're in a battle, which we'll see later on in the video, this is the different weapons he can equip that he has, and you need one of these slots also to put your magic spell. Once you actually have a magic flask and you have enough fires, lightning, or whatnot to use, this is where you would have to put it to actually use it in battle. And then, of course, we have quests. Now, let's see here. There we go. Okay, now the top one is usually the main storyline quest, and the other one's a side quest that people give you in towns, gas stations, wherever. There's a quest giver. They're going to give you these, and a lot of these are repeatable, so you could do them over and over and over again. It's just a way of getting some experience and getting some gil in the game, which is gold or money. Now, there's something really important. If you look down to kind of like the middle left bottom of the screen, you're going to see where it says active. Now, active is something you want to keep an eye on when you're doing your quests, because they have daytime and they have nighttime quests. Some of the beasts you have to fight are nocturnal beasts, so they're only going to be there at nighttime. If you go there during the day, it's just a wasted trip. They're not going to show up. The map in the game is very intense, and it's pretty much your right hand, your main guide to go to in this game, in my opinion. Anyways, so you can scroll in and out, and then if you use the directional pad, you can move around this cursor looking thing. And this is a way that you could hover over something, and it's going to give you more information about that item that you see on the map. Even treasure spots or treasure boxes or whatnot are actually indicated on the map, so they're not really hidden. Okay, a little bit about the actual game itself. It's a Final Fantasy game, as we know, but it does not feel to me or even look like a Final Fantasy that I'm used to. The reason being is because it's got a very modern flair to it. Most Final Fantasies I played and really enjoyed has that middle age look to it. Grass huts, dirt floors, you get the scoop. But in this game, I would think I'm playing like Grand Theft Auto meets, I don't know, some modern RPG game. It does not look like to me like a Final Fantasy game, and especially the combat system. Now, the combat system in this game, I will say right here at the start, it is not turn-based, which I do miss a lot, and that to me is what makes a Final Fantasy combat system. Now, I understand that as day and ages go on and people get more experience playing games, there has to be more of a challenge, and in this game they're using a real-time combat system. So it's not your traditional turn-based game. And this is the stuff I want to cover and show in this video to see if this game is actually worth it for you to actually buy it. Now, it's very clunky as far as it being real-time combat to me, because I'm not a pro at playing those kind of combat systems. Turn-based is pretty basic, and you just pretty much, as we know, input the command and you're off to go. But in this game, what makes it kind of clunky feeling to me too is that I'm constantly jumping on the controller between the directional pad and the toggle. Now, the directional pad is probably part of my controller I haven't used in like the last 20 games I've played. Because usually you could do everything movement-wise and all that good stuff with just the left toggle or the little joystick, whatever you want to call it. So if we open up the menu, let's see here, and we go to options and we go down to controller, we're going to see that in here there's really no way of actually adjusting or changing each individually button. So you can't map each individual button the way you want it to be. They give you these three presets, type A, type B, and C, and you pick whichever one you want to play with. And that's how you would set up your controller in this game. So it's all presets. Now, if we even notice, if we look at this, if you could actually see this, there's actually not even a command in here for movement. So I'm pretty much stuck jumping on the directional pad each time I want to move my characters, which to me is another hinder in Final Fantasy 15. Alrighty, now you have your ways of resting, like always. You got inns every now and then. You have trailers you could stay in, and you have campsites throughout the world. And the campsites are used for a lot of different things. We're going to visit one in a couple of minutes, so I could show you because they're pretty important. And basically, you just talk to this guy, pay him whatever gil he wants, and you stay. And you know how that goes in Final Fantasy games. The same with most of the items in the game. You could buy those from different vendors, and it's potions, high potions, just like we've seen in the past Final Fantasies. Treasures, you will come across treasures every now and then in the game, and they're not very hidden. They have an icon on top of them, and you pretty much just walk up to that icon, hit pick up, and you're pretty much good to go as far as that. Now, if we go in these diners or whatnot, these are usually the main guys that will give you side quests or jobs, and also meals that you could eat. So let's talk to him. And again, anybody you could speak to in the game is going to have an icon up over their head. You can't speak to everybody that you see in the game because they're not all they don't all have that icon above their head. So he's got a talk option. He's got an eat option, and that there he sells different meals that you could buy, plus Ignis is our cook also. And these meals will give you stats. So this particular meal right here for 1400 gil, which is a lot of money, this is going to raise your attack boost and your defense boost. And then the far left one here, or right one I should say, is hunt. This is where the available side quests will be. Now these are like just jobs, and they're repeatable. So once you complete it, you could come back to this guy, speak to him again, and pick these up again. It's just a great way of getting some experience in the game, make some money in the game, so on and so forth. So we'll take that for now. Okay, and we're all set here. Alrighty. Now, if you press down on the left toggle, he will run automatically. Whoop, let me do it in a clear spot where I don't hit something. He will run automatically. Now, I'm not touching any buttons on my controller right now, and you can swing the camera around, rotate the camera with the right toggle. So this is a great way if you want to just rest your fingers, and just basically chill out a bit while he's getting to his destination.
Are we staying here?
Alrighty, so there's that. There's awesome cutscenes in this game. Voice acting in this game is superb. All that stuff is top notch, which we would not expect anything less from Square Enix, especially in the year of 2018.
The decreed hour is come. Set forth with my blessing, Prince Noctis.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Take your leave and go in the grace of the gods.
Right.
Well, princes will be princes.
So much for royal protocol.
Not like you had to deliver a formal address.
Your Highness!
What now?
I fear I have left too much unsaid.
Now let's take our automobile for a ride, and we'll go over some other things while we're doing some. So here's our car right here. And once you accept here, you're going to get this menu, auto, resume, manual, shop, and main menu. Manual only lights up where you can use it depending on the situation you're in. I'm not really sure what those situations are right now, but sometimes I could use manual and sometimes I can't. The auto is what I like using the most of anyways. So once you click on that, you're going to now get another menu, and it's going to have parking spots, which is what we're at right now. That's considered a parking spot. Quest locations and map points. Now, map points I use the most because this, you could pretty much go to any spot on your map. So what we're going to do next now is find a spot that we want to go to, and we're going to go to this campground. So we're going to accept that, click on it. You're going to see that dotted path. That's going to show you the route that the car is going to take. And this, again, is all auto. Now, when you use auto, Ignis is going to be your driver. So we're going to set this as destination. They're going to climb in and head on over.
Let's hit it.
The car part in this game, the automobiles in this game is really cool looking, but again, it's not a Final Fantasy to me. It's just something you don't see in Final Fantasies. I'm used to seeing Cocobobes, but there is Cocobobes in this game. So you are going to have Cocobobes in this game. Spoiler, yes. Late spoiler alert, but yes. Now, while they're driving, you're going to hear the radio. That's just like Grand Theft Auto. And sometimes they'll start talking about things too. So, and then you could open up the map while they're driving, and you could see where you are. Now, we're driving in a sports car, not a SUV or a 4x4 or a Jeep. So it's only going to stay on the main roads, paths, things of that nature. So you have to get off once it stops automatically, and you have to walk your way to the spot you want to go to, because that's going to be in rough terrain.
It's in the treaty?
Of course. Simple formality.
And here we are.
One of those symbol of the peace deals.
So it's more like a marriage of convenience.
Her ladyship seems nevertheless
Alrighty, so let's just head up here.
Noctier likes the idea.
What's that?
And this is where we stay at the campground.
And here we are.
Now, this is the main reason why I want to show you the campground, because this is really important. Not all inns and stuff have these features. So you have to sometimes go to a campground to be able to use this feature. And what this is wait until nightfall. Because some quests and beasts in this game are nocturnal. You cannot fight them until it's nighttime. So coming to a camp provides you that option of doing so. So we could see here, if we pick that, we'll be able to stay till nightfall, go out there and now slay those beasts and complete that quest. Mine though, nightfall, things get really nasty. I've had beasts stop me on the road 20 levels above me and just one-shot my whole team. So things at nighttime are really nasty. So a little trick you could do is get as close as you can to that spot during the day. Go to a camp spot that's near that, then camp, turn it to dark, and then just hoof on over now to those beasts. So, but for this one, we're just going to do a camp for now, a regular camp.
Let's call it a day.
All right.
And I'll show you what this does. So as they pitch a tent, he actually said that. Now, whenever you do quests in the game, things like that, where you build up experience and guild in the game, you have to rest for it to kick in. It doesn't kick in right after the battle like most games. This one you have to go to a rest spot, and then you'll see your experience meters and all that stuff start going up. Now, the first thing that's going to happen once they wake up is Ignis now is going to come out with these meals, and you pick whichever meal you want to use. I showed you this in the restaurant, in the diner, and you pick whichever stats you want. The ones that are lit up are the ones he has the ingredients for. The ingredients are just found by doing treasure spots on the world map. So for this one, we're just going to use this one right now. And the food images in this game look amazing. They make me hungry all the time. And now if they have any experience and stuff, I must have just did mine not too long ago, that's where it would go up.
Hard to imagine demons in the night are a fact of everyday life for the locals here.
Yeah.
See, they're
The
talking
demons
about
seem
the
pretty used to it,
nighttime
too.
demons right
I'll
now.
never get used to them, that's for sure.
So,
We had it good in the Crown City.
now you could save the game virtually anywhere in the world, as far as I know of. So far I've been able to. So you could save it right here if you want, or whatnot, which I will probably do. So now we're saved here.
Hanging in the street
Now if we
after
walk
dark.
away from the
Picking up
camp a
late night
little
snacks?
bit
Worst you had to worry about was waking the neighbors.
and open up the menu, or actually
One
go
night
to the
out-
map, there's an option in here where we could instantly return back to the car, which is really nice. The car, to me, even though I know I've said it a couple of times, which is not really a Final Fantasy element, is definitely my favorite part of this game.
Here, and we'd be
And there we see about the chocobos.
Eating out
So
here.
they are in the game.
Count your
I
blessings
just
on
don't have
cooking
them yet.
for you.
I also forgot to mention, too, when we're at the campsite, that in the menu, when you turn it to nighttime and all that, there's also a train where you could train your characters. It goes through a fighting simulator, and you could actually access that, too, in the menu. So if we open up the menu here, let's see here. Here it is right here. So if you check that, click on that, or whatever you want to call it, it's going to say quit game and initiate the tutorial. So you could do that here, and it'll go over all the battle moves, so you learn how to do combat in this game. Because, like I was saying, the combat in this game is totally, totally different than any other Final Fantasy I've ever played. So, yeah, so next we're actually going to probably get into a battle or two, and we'll see what the combat looks like. Okay, now I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but you can also use a keyboard and a mouse for this game too. You don't have to use a controller. Notice that if they're standing in the street, the traffic will actually stop and sit there. Sometimes they'll drive around them if there's room. So let's see now if we move everybody off to the side, if that guy will continue now. And there he goes. So you're not going to get run over, I don't think. Alright, now, one important thing I want to go over before we actually go into a battle, because discussing a lot of this stuff in the heat of battle is pretty difficult. If we look down to the bottom left of my screen, you're going to notice my weapons. Now, I showed you this earlier in the video, so if we open this back up and we go to gear, we go to Noctis, we're going to see that that's his magic spell right there. And here's his other 3 weapons that he has. Now, when you're in battle, or even outside of battle, you could actually do this too. Is with the left toggle, you could switch it to whichever weapon or spell you want to use. And with my controller, it's the B button that I use to actually use it.
Look where you're going!
So, and your teammates will get pissed off and say something if you do start swinging at them. So now we're going to actually go to a battle. Let's enter the automobile. Let's go to auto. Let's go to quest location. Okay, the only quest I have available now, I thought I picked up the one at the diner. I guess I didn't. Was the only one I have is the main quest, so that's not a battle, I don't think. So let's see if we could find a spot that's going to have a battle. Okay, I ended up changing locations. Hopefully there's some beasts down here. But I want to show you something while we're here. And again, these are indicated on the map. So if we open up the map, we're going to see right there it says ice deposit. This is where you get the items for your magic, if you have the magic flask. So once we come up to these, you just hit the main button to absorb it until it says full. Now we have enough ice energy to do ice attacks, magic, if we have the flask now. Alrighty, folks, I think we found some beasts. Something we could fight here. So again, let me just go over a few important things before we jump into the battle. You can go down to, let's see, options, combat. You can use either active or wait. Now, we're familiar with what these options do in most of these games, but the wait feature in this one acts really odd to me. It's not just a timer. It actually phases out the whole screen. So I'll do a little bit of this in wait just to show you guys. And again, you're only controlling the main guy, Noctis. The other guys in your group are pretty much on auto. So they're going to be doing a lot of their automatic stuff. So you don't have to worry about them too much. But there is ways that you could actually make them cast a spell and things of that nature. And again, I'm not going to be going over too deep details of the battle system in this video, but just to give you an idea what the battle's like. All right, so we'll try the first one and wait. And now we're just going to approach this guy. Let's see, I'm going to target and do a warp strike. Now, this is what it does when you're in wait. It actually phases where it looks like the game's like screwing up, but it's not. That's the wait timer. That's how it works. Now, as soon as you move, it's going to break it when now you're active again. But every time you stop, it's going to do this. And to me, I find it kind of annoying. So I've been using active because of so. So now we're just going to go back to options again, and we're going to put that back on active. And there we are. Now, it's really important in this game to block as much as you can, even though sometimes it's difficult. That's why I keep getting my ass kicked here, because I'm not blocking good. Now, when he starts depleting his mana at the very bottom blue bar, he's going to go into what they call a status, where he can't use a lot of things. Our report card came back A+, D, and A+, so we did okay there. But there is spots that you could actually warp to. I didn't realize we were this strong, where we killed these guys this quick. I wanted to show you a warp point. So let's see here. Let's see if we could find another group of bees. All right, good. Okay, now I'm actually going to do a warp strike right there. Keep getting this a lot. All right, there's a point warp right there. See that rock? Watch. All right, now I'm safe, and you're going to notice now my bars are all filling up. Now I could actually target one of these guys and charge in on him, do a warp strike, defend, and he's dead. Once you get training, once you get used to the fighting system in this game, it can be a lot of friggin' fun, I have to admit. But it's not a relaxing battle system. Now these guys are going down pretty fast because we're higher than they are. So, yeah. So that's basically it, folks. That's how the battle system pretty much works in this game. Is this an item? Yes. Redstone shard. So that's basically how the battles work in this game. And everything else, all the important things you would probably need to know if this game is actually worth it for you or not. And again, if it is, it's available on Steam. I'll probably have the link in the description panel of this video. And I thank you so much again for watching Wise Gamer. Feel free to comment, sub up, and we'll catch you the next time. Have a good gaming day. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.